Good morning, stars. It's your boy Z, aka the Lava Tyrant, and you guys really like Cookie Run Kingdom. For those who may be new, which is probably a lot of you, it all started with me turning the CRK Beasts into Ultra Beasts for Stern's Ubicember challenge, and afterwards, since I had so much fun with that video, I felt a sequel was needed, so I made one with legendaries promising a full region if it got enough love and support. And then, they're right behind me, aren't they? Well, you know what that means. Ask and ye shall receive. It's time to use some more of our cookie cutters and draw even more CRK as Pokémon. And by popular demand, and totally not my pre-planned roadmap, it's time we dealt with another major rarity in the game. None other than the Ancients. The Ancients were the original premier rarity in CRK, and are the good counterparts of the Beasts. They are the legendary heroes that wield the Soul Gems, artifacts that hold within them power passed down from the witches themselves. And today, it's upon me to give these 5 ancient cookies their suitable Pokemon representations. So, without any further ado, let's begin. Same as the Beast Cookies as Pokemon video, we shall go in release order, which means we start with none other than Ben 10 Cookie, aka Pure Vanilla Cookie, pretty much the poster child of the Ancients, similar to how his counterpart, Shadow Milk, is for the Beasts. Of course, if you have seen the last 2 episodes, you know that I don't just confine these designs to singular concepts, and branch out with further mythical references, and the Ancients are no different. As for them, I drew heavily from the auspicious beasts, or 4 symbols of Chinese myth. PVC then is based on the Yellow Dragon, who is considered the 5th member and leader of the 4 symbols, which fits what we know about PVC. Even still, this one is a tad weaker of a concept given each symbol has an element, and the Yellow Dragon's Earth element doesn't really check out all too well with PVC, but since the others matched up so well, it seemed wrong for me to not go with it. And so, here is
Solottle, Awakened Form. Solottle emanates a light that is said to act as a beacon of truth, bestowing wisdom upon those that experience it. Solottle are one of the 5 ancient Pokemon capable of awakening with a Soul Gem.
Okay, right away, quite a lot to talk about. Firstly, to address the elephant in the room, yes, that is a new layout, now with stats as well, thank you for noticing. Now, for the big stuff, you heard that right, Solottle is not a legendary or mythical, but instead a new rarity. Ancient, not to be confused with the Ancient Paradoxes. This is basically a rarity or class of Pokemon between pseudo-legendary and legendary. I also decided to go with the Axolotl for the main reason of differentiation. I didn't just want to make it a dragon because we also have an Azure Dragon coming up, and also I wanted to keep these Ancients bipedal and more humanoid lenient because I wanted them to serve a similar design philosophy to the starters, to the point where the unawakened forms of these guys, whom I will discuss some other time, can relatively work as house pet-like creatures. Lastly, the shiny is of course based off of the deceitful Shadow Milk Cookie. With that said, let's move on to our next Ancient, Hollyberry Cookie. Continuing the 4 symbols trend, I found that the one that lined up the best with Hollyberry is the White Tiger. While Hollyberry is not predominantly white, she still has white in her design, and not to mention, the White Tiger represents the metal element, which also lines up very well with Hollyberry's own metal element. Also to note, for today's designs, I actually fused details from the base forms and the awakened forms of the cookie counterparts for more consistency. With that said, the base forms of the Pokémon will draw heavier from their unawakened cookie forms and their designs from before getting their Soul Gems. Yapping out of the way, I present to you
Panthegus, Awakened Form. Panthegus are great allies as they use their hardened head crest as a shield to defend their fellow humans and Pokémon. Panthegus are one of the 5 ancient Pokémon capable of awakening with a Soul Gem.
For Panthegus' shiny, I did end up making all the colors significantly lighter to pay not only a slight homage to Eternal Sugar Cookie, but also to highlight the increased white of the Eternity in the Embrace of Sloth skin. Panthegus was also one of the first designs I made for the video, laying kind of the foundation of how I would approach the other designs, so I hope you guys liked it. And well, if you did, of course make sure to like and definitely subscribe, as suffice it to say, Cookie Run Kingdom as Pokemon is gonna become a region. Now this won't majorly affect anything else on the channel, so also expect a new Project IXC video, that is my graphic novel by the way, and the occasional Sansamar video as well. And also, while Mahagari, my first region, is still in indefinite hiatus, its 20th episode is in the works, so stay tuned for that. Till then though, definitely join the Discord, link in description, and let's continue with Dark Cacao Cookie. And I'ma let you guys in on a little secret, he's probably one of my favorite base form ancients, also why I play on Dark Cacao servers. For him, the choice was obvious, the Black Tortoise. Not only does the color black sort of just define Dark Cacao Cookie, but also the tortoise represents water, which correlates heavily with DCC's connection to the Licorice Sea. Furthermore, the black tortoise is also symbolized alongside a snake upon its shell, which I use to reference the black and white dragons. No, not those black and white dragons. Though, come to think of it, they are oddly similar. Anyways, with that said, here is
Tetsudark, awakened form. Tetsudark are said to have a strong resolve to protect the residents of its domain. They use their blade-like arms to cut down any foes before them. Tetsudark are one of the 5 ancient Pokemon capable of awakening with a Soul Gem.
Tetsudark's name is one I'm not that big of a fan of, so do let me know if you guys can come up with something cooler down in the comments. As for the shiny, I did the classic swap the white with black and the black with white. I tried referencing the At the Peak of Stillness skin, but that just did not look good. Regardless of that, let's now move on to the second last ancient and the second last fakemon for the video. None other than Her Radiance, Queen Golden Cheese Cookie. Now, she definitely has one of my favorite Awakened designs in the game. Then again, all the Awakened designs are just simply goated with the sauce. For her symbol, we had to go with the Vermilion Bird. Not only does vermilion relate greatly as a color to our glorious queen, but also its element of fire has equal relations to her, as while she isn't a fire elemental in-game, she has conquered Burning Spice Cookie, who is quite fiery. For this design, I also tied in the spear she wields to the core structure, with the beak being its sharpened point. So I present to you
Radiavian, awakened form. Radiavians are symbols of wealth and abundance. They are known to hoard shining and gleaming riches. They are able to use their fiery powers to melt these hoarded minerals and cover themselves in it. Radiavians are one of the 5 ancient Pokemon capable of awakening with a Soul Gem.
The shiny for this changes the golden hues to neon to reference her skin from the Golden City's Dangerous Intruder set, one of the strongest skin sets in the entire game in my opinion. Now that we have soared through the skies, swam through the seas, rushed through the wilds and looked upon the light of truth, one final ancient remains, a name that has haunted Arena for the past few months. It is of course White Lily Cookie, and as I hinted at before, her secondary inspiration is the Azure Dragon, who just like her is related to the element that represents nature, wood and grass for each respectively. I took this Azure Dragon and designed it to fit more of that European dragon aesthetic, and while for now that helps the design to come off as a gentle beast, I have quite the plans to eventually use that aspect and evolve it to monstrous heights when we inevitably design the Dark Enchantress form of this Pokemon. But until then, say hello to the last and certainly not least ancient Pokemon.
Lilivolent, awakened form. Malevolent are said to be free-spirited. Their mysterious nature far outshines the elusive nature of other ancient Pokemon. A subtle dark energy is said to be present within them. Lilivolent are one of the 5 ancient Pokemon capable of awakening with a Soul Gem.
The shiny further references her Moonflower Fairy costume, which is truly a gorgeous design, and one of the few plot-relevant costumes. But, of course, with that said, that's it. All of the Ancients is Pokemon. Now, I may have gotten some mythical references a tad wrong. I'm not infallible, so sorry in case I did. As I mentioned though, this will not be the end of CRK as Pokemon, as more will come very soon. So if you want your favorite cookies featured next time, make sure to comment their names below, and while you are at it, like, subscribe, and hype the video. CRK has been a big obsession of mine for ages, and so all of your love has been very amazing, because it means I get to keep exploring 2 of my favorite things, albeit Frankenstein into one. Well, I guess that will be all for this one, so I suppose I will catch you all right here in the next one. So till then, peace.